This is the homework helper for Workbook 1.2, Writing Algebraic Expressions. We'll start off with question 1. You're going to proceed the same way for questions 2 through 6. It's asking you to write an algebraic expression for the word phrase. So something that, in case you're not understanding the whole concept of an algebraic expression, think of an equation, but take off the equal sign and the stuff after the equal sign, and that's an algebraic expression. Okay? So we've got in number 1, 6 less than twice x. Now you'll want to use that list of keywords that we've talked about in the lesson. And remember, that list of keywords is on your reference sheet here. Alright, so you can reference those at any time you might need to. In this case, the keywords here that would be on the chart are going to be less than, and then twice is an implied one, which we'll talk about here. But less than, as you can see from looking at your list, means to subtract. So that's going to get changed into a subtraction sign in a minute. And twice x, really twice is the part we're going to concern ourselves with right now, means to multiply by 2. So those are the two things that we're going to have in here. Now, let's take this to a little bit different spot for just a minute so we can think about where this is going to translate as. Because as you know from the lesson today, a lot of times they translate directly in order. So whatever is the first thing written is the first thing we're going to write in the algebraic expression. But this says 6 less than twice x. So if I said to you 6 less than 11, what would you do? Well, you'd do 11 minus 6, which equals 5. Well, where did you put the minus 6 part? You put the minus 6 part at the end. It's not actually the first thing, even though it's written first. So yes, we are going to have a minus sign, and there is going to be a 6, but that's actually going to be after the subtraction sign. So I'm going to erase that. We know what they mean, but I'm going to erase it so I make sure I write them in the correct order. All right. Now, remember the example I just said was 6 less than 11. So pretend this is that 11 part. All right. Remember, that would then go in front. So this part's going to have to be in the front. So twice x. All right, that's not a multiply here, that's actually the variable x. So they want us to say 2 times x. And that's what we're going to write. Now, it does not really matter which order you actually end up writing that in. You could write x times 2 and it would still mean the same thing, but it does have to be in front of that subtraction sign. And as you can see, this 2x minus 6, that's my algebraic expression. Now in number 7, we're going to go the opposite direction. And you're going to approach 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 in the same way. Instead of writing the algebraic expression like we did in number 1 here, they're actually starting you with the algebraic expression, and you have to bring it back to here. So we've got a couple different things going on here. We do have multiplying implied here with the 2 times n. So we're going to need to say something that implies multiplication. And then you can also see we have an addition sign, so you need something that implies addition. All right, so here up in front, we can say this a lot of different ways. We could use this twice concept here like we saw in number 1. We could even make it simpler. We could say that this is the sum. And when I'm saying sum, remember, I'm not talking about this multiplication. I'm talking about this addition in the middle. I'm saying here by starting off with a sum that I'm actually adding 2 different components together, and that's what I'm doing. So this is the sum of, well, what is it the sum of? A number and 2, right? And that a number and 2 part, that's going to take care of this front part here, 2 times n. And then we're going to say and 4. Right, which is this part here at the end. Now, maybe this isn't very clear to you because maybe it sounded to you like this really means 2 plus n plus 4. All right, well, we can change that if it's not quite as clear to you, make it something maybe even a little bit better. All right, I'm going to leave this sum of part and the 4 at the end, and I'm going to change this middle part. Maybe this will make it better for you. What if I said, just like it is, the sum of 2 times a number which is this whole front part, 2 times the number, and 4. That's me adding in the 4. That's another way to write it. Again, there's lots of ways to write these things. If you wanted to say 2 times a number increased by, because addition could be read as increased by, again, that's on your reference sheet, increased by 4. That's another way that writes. You don't necessarily have to do it that exact way. If you even want to say n instead of a number, all right, you could say 2 times n, literally writing out like we did here, 2 times, and then you could n plus 4, or increased by 4. That would work as well. Those are all perfectly valid algebraic expressions.